Coach Adam Fossett show this morning on this Thursday, the 21st day of October, and it is becoming a regular thought that B.B. Comer winning a football game. They continue to win. They're just outside the top 10 in Class 2A, and coach, a very convincing win over a pretty explosive Vincent football team last week.
Yeah, I thought after we settled down, man, we played real well, and once we figured out the speed of Lawson and the running back, we were able to kind of contain him and shut him down. So, again, proud of the guys and how they come through and deal with adjustments. And big jump in football knowledge for our guys this season. So the more they understand the game, the better off we are. And they're really understanding the game and not offensively. Not a lot of selfishness. Those guys enjoy spreading it around, and if they're not getting the ball, they're going to block for the other guys, and it's led to a lot of success.
Big win for B.B. Comer over Vincent last Friday, and the running back you're talking about, Lawson, he broke the one big play, but outside of that, you contained him pretty well. Yeah.
Outside of that, again, getting used to the speed, getting used to his speed, and it's so hard to simulate that in practice. So once you get to game speed and you're able to adjust to that, we were able to settle down and be able to play pretty good defense.
Kamori Harris. What an animal this guy is.
Yeah, he's something else. He's a special athlete, good kid, does a good job for us on both sides of the ball, and sustained a little injury week 4, week 5, and he's come back from that. And I thought last Friday was probably the best that he's ran all season. It seemed like he had a different gear. It seemed like he was kind of running mad, so to speak. So, he's put up, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but he's well over 1,000 yards rushing, over 19 touchdowns. He may be in the 20s now. And very, very humble kid. Like he's just laid back. If I get the ball, I'm gonna run hard. If I don't get the ball, I'll do my job elsewhere. And he is a game changer for us. A big breakout game early in the season when we played Lafayette. He has over 300 yards rushing on 26 carries, and that was a huge game, and that was a big growing up game for him. You got to keep in mind he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
So get him for another 2 years, and but his time is now to play and help this team out too.
He got great breakaway speed plus yards after contact. Yeah. You hit this guy and he's allowed to be 10 yards down the field before another guy tries to tackle him, but yards after contact is phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubt. Yards after contact is impressive, and as the coach, I want him to be tough, but sometimes I just wish he'd go down, because they start jumping on the pile, and that's when injuries happen. So it makes me nervous when that happens. But just being a football player years and years ago myself, I don't know that I would want to stand in front of him and take on that brunt of contact either. So he packs a load. He's a weight room guy, so he loves the weight room. Very, very strong kid, very, very strong in the legs, and you can see that on the field.
How much pressure does it put on the defense to have somebody like Harris, who's a sophomore, and then you're able to balance that out with Carmichael being able to throw the football down the field this year?
I wouldn't want to have to game plan against us. You're looking at 34 plus formations that you got to prepare for. As of after last week's game, 12 different people have scored on offense for us this year. So very, very wide open. We're able to spread it around. Got a lot of guys that we can get the ball to that can make good things happen. So and that's what makes Kamor more dangerous too, is that we don't have to just rely on him. We can throw the ball out to James or to Richard Weed or Chris Garrett, or we may have DeLeon Welch in the game, and he run the ball for us. And then you've got Carmichael, who is a dual threat. He can run or throw the ball. So preparing for us would be tough, and that's something that has made us a lot more dangerous. And in 2A football, if you're preparing, if you're spending a bunch of time preparing for us offensively, then you're probably not preparing your offense for our defense. So something's got to give somewhere, and that helps us on Friday nights too, because they've cut a corner somewhere in preparation. So we are able to capitalize on that.
Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director at BB Comer. I don't know exactly the numbers, but well over 40 points a game, your offense is putting up phenomenal numbers on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we've scored 40 or more in the past 7 games. So we're on a 7-game win streak, and we've scored 40-plus points in the last 7 games. And I didn't realize that until Coach Strickland the other day mentioned it, and I was like, man, that's pretty impressive, So we've been able to put up a lot of points. We've already scored more points on the season than we scored all of last year. So, the goal is to continue putting up points and continue spreading it around and continue to win some ball games.
Tell me about this field goal kicker you got.
So we've kicked 3 field goals this year. Like that's
got to be a record.
Yeah, that's the most amazing thing in the world, And so last week we practiced what we call red field goal, which is hey, the clock's running, we're running out of time, we got to kick one. And I told Coach in the headset, hey, we're going to kick a field goal, but I'm not going to call it till probably 16 seconds left, just to. We were up, so it wasn't a critical time, but it was a good time to practice that. So we call it, and they get out there and get set up, and a very, very quick ordeal. And I didn't know if they would get it off or not, but I was kind of challenging them. And man, Noah drills one through. It was about 34 yards, and I've seen him make one from 40. He claims he can. He's true from 40, but he's another sophomore that he's got 2 years to get that leg stronger and get better at what he does. But,
it's critical as you head toward the playoffs that whether it's a field goal or an extra point or a kickoff, these things are very, very important, especially you get into the playoffs where some of these teams, they've been there and done that.
Right. And again, that's just another weapon that we have. And that's, for us to be able to be 30 yards in and say, hey, we're going to kick a field goal and have confidence, hey, we got a chance to make this. And he's one thing I've noticed about his field goals, all of them have been on the left hash. So hopefully Friday we get a chance on the right hash, so he can try to kick one from the right hash to see how he does from that hash. But it's anytime that you can put points on the board, you want to be able to put points on the board. And if you're inside the 30 and you've got 4th and 6, 4th and 7, anything long other than maybe 4th and inches, you got to have the confidence, and I have the confidence to run them out there and let them kick one. So, and if things don't work out, I have the confidence defensively that we've got them pinned pretty deep.
Speaking of defensively, you're 7-2, and losses against number 1 ranked in 3A Montgomery Catholic, number 2 ranked in 2A Lynette. This defense has done a lot of good things this year for your team.
Yeah. They fly around. They're all over the place. Guys like John Murphy and Hagan DeLee have done a great job for us in the box area, playing defensive end and linebacker. Our DBs have gotten better over the weeks, and that was kind of a weak spot for us. They're playing a lot better. Devontae and Devin Harvey are playing well. Devin's all over the place, and he's another young guy, another sophomore that'll come up and hit you. And he's kind of peaking when we need him to peak. He's playing a lot better now. But we're going to get after you, and we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to come after you and force you to make plays.
The final regular season game of the year against normally a very, very tough opponent, playoff contender for the last number of years. Randolph County, they're down this year, but this is a kind of game where you don't need to slip up for sure.
Yeah, they're 1-7 right now, and it's a game where you don't want to overlook them at all. You want to make sure that you go in prepared, and I really feel like we've done a good job preparing this week and getting ready for them. And it's easy, like I've been on the 1-7 side of things too, and it's so much easier to go to practice at 7-2 than it is to go to practice at 1-7. So I would imagine it's probably a grueling ordeal for them to get out there and go through practice, and coach is trying to come up with a creative way to make practice entertaining, whereas we have a mission in place, and the guys believe in our saying, or our statement that it's the most important game because it's the next one, and they believe that. And our guys are ready. We don't want to go all the way to Wadowee to get beat. So
that's a long trip too.
Yeah, that's a long bus ride back if you lose and you got your tail between your legs. So we're ready to go, I think.
What has happened with Randolph County? They've been playoff contenders for a number of years.
Yeah, I knew that they were going to be young, and their coach knew they were going to be young, and the way he's explained it to me is they just don't have any athletes. I don't know all the truth and all the stories behind that.
You'll find out Friday.
We'll find out Friday. I know he did tell me this week when he called. He said that they're going to probably go to 3A in the next classification, and he isn't looking forward to that either. So
I guess not. Hey, let's talk playoffs just for a minute. Final regular season game tomorrow night in Wadowee against Randolph County. Where do we stand 1 week from Friday night?
So we're locked in as a 2 seed, and so we'll host the first round. And it gets a little, we have a unique situation because if Sylacauga wins Friday and beats Holtville, then they'll be a 2 seed and they'll host as well. So one of us will have to play on Thursday, one of us will have to play on Friday. Coach Carter and I will work that out, and I don't know what days will work or what days we'll figure out. We're off on next week.
Right.
So I'm good with playing on Thursday, but again, you have to see that ultimately it's up to the HSA and they make that decision. But we are a 2 seed. We'll get to host, and we earned the right to host last year, but didn't get that opportunity because St. Luke's couldn't play, and ultimately I think that hurt us in the playoffs as far as our chances against Abbeville just being off for 2 weeks straight because we didn't play week 10 and we didn't play a first round game. But yeah, we'll host first round. It looks like it's going to be GW Long, and
they're a pretty good football team.
Yeah, pretty good team. They're in the top 10, and the GW Longs, the top 3 in their region all beat each other. So they're all sitting with 1 region loss, and they play good football down there. They're a very disciplined team, and we'll have our work cut out for us. But hey, we get to play at home, and we have a confident bunch of guys that are ready to play ball.
As athletic director, it is volleyball region playoff time now. What about our girls at B.B. Calmer?
Girls won the area, and then yesterday they played in the super regionals in Montgomery, beat Clark County in the first round, and then they were put out by Ayrton in the second round yesterday. So their season is over, but man, they've got so much to be proud of, so much to just hold their heads up high about. This group of girls and the coaches have done a tremendous job. We've got a group of seniors that when I came in 4 years ago, I met with all the athletes at the time, and I explained to them that we've got to change some things. We got to change how we work. We got to change how we think, and get a winner's mentality. And it was going to take work. And my exact statement was, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And I remind them of that at the area tournament. And man, just proud of them. It was a big stage yesterday. We got to go down and see the first game. Took a couple of our athletes down and had a little student section for them. And man, they played well. Didn't get to see the second game, but heard they played hard, but Ayrton just was able to outscore them.
Yeah. Before we go this morning, how can fans and alumni and supporters of B.B. Comer athletics, how can they become involved more financially to support?
The best way is through the school. So everything goes through the school system as far as monetary support. Some people just want to donate items. You know, we can. We're always looking for Gatorades, waters, things like that. Stuff like that can be dropped off at the field house. You know, there's always like random things that you need. So like going into the playoffs, we're low on towels. That's what one of the coaches was talking about the other day. We need some more towels. So you know, just regular towels that we have to dry the balls off with. You know, they can be white. They can be. You know, we don't try to go for designs, but just a plain towel. And stuff like that can be dropped off at the field house. Financially, we've had a ton of community people and churches and stuff reach out to us and help pay for pregame meals. I've had people say, I can't pay for a whole pregame meal, but I want to donate $100. So they just do that and they write a check to the school. If they can't drop it off at the school, then they can mail it to the school.
Okay.
But any support definitely helps out. I will say the last game was a huge gate for us. Almost an $8,000 gate, which is amazing. And,
it is.
I don't pay attention to the stands a lot, but I'm very focused on the game most of the time. But in the second half, Friday night, I kind of turned around and looked up, and I was like, man, there are people everywhere, and it was packed. So it was a great night for the alumni, a great night for current students, and a great night for the football program.
No doubt about it. B.B. Comer on the road to Wedowee to take off Randolph County, then a week off before the playoffs begin here at Legion Stadium. B.B. Comer hosting a first-round playoff game, and we look forward to that as well. Coach, good luck, and thanks for coming by this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Coach Adam Fossett, the head football coach and athletic director of B.B. Comer High School. More Daybreak right after this.